Hey folks, welcome. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. And we know it's more than just astrology, right? Transformational astrology, because you're a Mojo Mystic. Yes, you are. So, today is Saturday, September 21st. And come talk to me. Say hello. Hope you're here today. We're going to be talking about the autumnal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. Hey, Lindsay's here. Hi, Lindsay. And how to create more harmony during this phase right now. And a couple of things, especially 3 things that you can do to create equilibrium with the whole vibe of what's happening with the earth. Christine's here. Hi, Christine. And okay. In keeping with the Jupiter transiting Neptune square Jupiter that I was talking about for the past 10 days or so. Hi, Elizabeth. My husband and I decided to incorporate more play into our lifestyles because we're paying attention to what's stuck and how to open up the channel. So we went to see Jim Breuer. He's a stand-up comic in Flagstaff. He's so funny. We just laughed for 90 minutes. We just laughed. Our face hurt. Our faces hurt. We were laughing so hard. And came home. Now, we're usually in bed by 9:30 to read or 9:45 and, talk about the day or whatever. But we read and snuggle down. And we didn't get to bed till midnight. That's, beyond our agenda these days. But because we were laughing so hard and had so much fun, we woke up just as early as we usually do, got on with our day, and it just, incorporating well, I want to say balance, but mostly balance is for hormones. Because if everything's balanced, nothing's moving. And if nothing's moving, then you're a pretty picture of your potential. But equilibrium and harmony, and there's flow. Hey, Leah's here too. Hey, oh, by the way, I want to say, and I may have repeated these in previous shows, but hello and welcome to France. Thanks for joining us. New Zealand and Nevada, North Carolina, and South Carolina. I think I mentioned them last week. Germany, Austria, and Italy. Welcome to Astrology Mojo. So, yes, Christine says laughter is the best medicine. We had the best time. And if you ever get a chance to see Jim Breuer, and my husband's a former stand-up, so we're very particular about the quality of comedy. We don't need 4-letter words in our comedy. And, people who are natural at comedy are insightful, and they can just spring off of a person in the audience, or they spend hours writing their material, but it looks effortless on stage. So if you get a chance to see Jim Breuer, yeah, that's a big plus. Hey, Brittany's here too. And Jessica, first time watcher here. Well, welcome. You love Jim Breuer? So do we. Okay, so if you know me, you know that I say, but if you don't, I'm about to say it, that the planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, it's reflected by way of aspects and angles in astrology. So basically, astrology tells you what time it is. Is it time for wealth, health, passion, purpose? Maybe all of them, maybe a combination. So today we're talking about the autumnal equinox. We just got through all the shows. We were talking about transiting Neptune square Jupiter and your karmic unfinished business, what needs to really get cleared up before you can move forward. And it is not a we will, in the traditional sense, coincidence, like it's random. No, it's not random. That the autumnal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere is happening while the vernal equinox is happening in the Southern Hemisphere, which means half of the Earth is completely covered in light equally, and the other half is equally dark. So equinox literally is Latin, and it means, what does it mean? Equal light. No, equal night, equal night, equal night. Nox is night, yes. Or if you're a Harry Potter fan, Nox. Okay. So, hi, Sage. Okay. So, oh, by the way, little housekeeping. Tell all your friends and family I'm here Monday, Thursday, Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time until the clocks change, and then I'll just adjust that a little bit. So what we're talking about is the autumnal equinox and how to harmonize. What is it all about? We're now in the astrological sign of Libra. Come tell me your birthdays, by the way. We have a Scorpio here. I see a Gemini rising with a Pisces. I see a Cancer. I see a Sag, Pisces, another Pisces. So today, and I'm just looking at my Jim Maynard calendar. And hang on, why don't I see it clearly? Actually, the sun enters Libra technically 3:51 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday the 23rd. Every year it's different when the sun enters a particular sign. It's different every year. So, but we're entering into and we're transitioning a seasonal change with creating more harmony in our lives. That's the Libra vibe. We're just leaving the mutable vibe of opportunity change, very focused on, what's the problem? I don't know. I'm going to have a sip of the galaxy before I continue. Okay, so what can we do? What is it all about? The autumnal equinox, this whole thing, for centuries, all around the world, not just in England. It's not just a Druid thing. China, Japan, they all have their versions. South America as well, Argentina. And what happens when the exact moment when we move into the autumnal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere is meant to create that collaboration between extremes, right? It's the harmony. It's the harmony through balance. And what you can do really to create that is look for in your life, in your mind and in your body, in your home, apartment, your environment, where are things off kilter? Where are you off axis? So I'm going to just check the comments. We have more people joining. Hey, Laura Lee's here. Hi. And Christine's a Libra rising, so this will be very powerful for you to organize harmony in your own body. Sage is so sage and wise. 10:14. Cool. Yay. Coming up, another Libra. All right. And then Jess is June 21st. Now you're cuspy. So you're either right the Gemini or right the Cancer, one or the other. And I'll post later on at the end of the show, I'll post a link that you can go to get your chart for free so you can see exactly, if you're not sure, where planets are in your chart. Okay, so this is all about creating equilibrium in your life. So somebody tell me, where are you out of balance? Where are you off kilter? Is it with your health? Is it with finances? Is it with your relationships? This is a really wonderful time to not just be grateful for the summer and everything that it's brought us in the Northern Hemisphere, and that's more play, some vacation, maybe it's great food or time with friends, but to be grateful now for what we just had and to look forward to the long night. The long night. So this is a time of harvest and literally reaping what you have sown in the past 4 months. So let's go from the spring, let's go from May-ish to now. What have you done or accomplished or become aware of? Maybe you didn't actually work on anything, but I know Lindsay made headway with a book and an editor. And, you know, there's my husband with a new client, pretty big deal, huge client, and becoming more of himself and sharing with the group, right? So, oh, Kate's here too. Virgo extraordinaire. So you want to think about in the past couple of months, what has surfaced for you? And remember, in astrology, or in life, even if you're not focused on astrology, life doesn't just happen on a dime. You know, every thought you think, every single thing you're doing becomes a neuron in your brain. And those neurons, and where are they? Let me find that image I have of neurons. They're, whoa, so down on the list. I don't know where they are now. Okay, don't know where they are. But every time you fire something in your brain, a synapse, and it creates a neuron, and that neuron is a baby little tiny thought. And it says, oh, I'm not ever going to be enough. I won't ever get there. It's too hard. I'm not this, you know. And the more you think those things, the more you think those things that are not really true, maybe for a moment they might be true. You know, you can't cross the street because the light is red. It's like, oh, I'll never get across the street. Well, never's a long time. And then the light turns green, and then you get the go-ahead from the universe. Go ahead, now you can go. So it's about working and harmonizing with all energies, but you want to pay attention to those negative thoughts because they're the ones that create a vibration, and then you resonate, just like that NGC 4485 galaxy behind me, thank you NASA, you resonate a frequency, and that frequency is what attracts things and people and opportunities or mishaps into your world. Believe it or not, you are that powerful. So get clear now on, I'm here to help you. This is, it's all inclusive. All the planets, the energies, the karma. Karma's not good or bad, right? Everything that you're doing, it all makes up you. And that's a beautiful thing. But if you don't like what's happening, if you feel stuck because you're not making headway, then following the prescriptions that I give, of course I don't diagnose, but astrological, spiritual prescriptions, that to help you get more into alignment, you're going to see incremental changes. And that is the whole point. So Jess says, home, family versus work balance. You own and operate your own cleaning business, first time mom. Oh, a little baby at home, trying to be more aware of negative thoughts. Okay, and that's a lot. You're doing a lot, right? Yeah. Anyone who has a child under the age of 20, there's a lot. There's a lot to do because your focus is always split. As a mom, always split. You know, it's like, I'm working. Oh, yeah. Okay, but you can't take it all on yourself. So, you know that too. And I think when we have cosmic occurrences like Neptune square Jupiter or the autumnal or the vernal equinox or any of them, any of the aspects in astrology, it's really important to pay attention to flow. Now, we on purpose live in a mountain community. It's quiet. We live in a dark sky community, so lights out everywhere, 10 o'clock, except in the main part of town where there are restaurants and bars. There are street lights, but porch lights, everything, lights out, 10 o'clock. And then what we see is that behind us. Not with all those rainbow colors, though, unfortunately. I think that might be doctored. I don't know. I have a feeling. But, that's what we see. And we've chosen this lifestyle after having lived on both coasts, New York, New Jersey. California, LA, right? So we made a conscious choice to change something. And was it easy? No, because to become who you really want to be, you've got to be a pioneer. And pay attention to all those little tiny things where you stop and say, I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to do it. And you just flop on the couch. And that's okay. Take a break, take a rest. But if you are someone who has enough food to eat, who has clean water to drink, who has electricity running into your home, who has support, a modicum of self-respect, you have everything you need to create harmony and equilibrium, and then make your conscious contribution to the world. That's just the long and short of it. So, what else can we do? Who else is here? Come say hi to me. So Jess is looking for home, family, work balance, and that incorporates asking for help. And that's for everybody. Especially if you've got kids, you've got to ask for help. You can't, I did a manifestation ritual many years ago when our kid was very young. We moved here to Sedona when Aaliyah was 2.5. And I was working part-time, and I needed that. My husband was working full-time to really get us going in our business at the time. And, and I was out of my mind. So I did a manifestation. And the manifestation that I did at the time was to write a list, and you can do this too, write a list and across the top of a piece of paper, you write my ideal and fill in the blank. My ideal client, my ideal nanny, my ideal business partner, my ideal romantic relationship. Okay? So once you establish your ideal, whatever it is, list 1 through 10 qualifications. 1 through 10 qualities. Okay? So this is fun. This is a fun manifesting thing you can do right now at this time of year. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about the autumnal equinox and how to create equilibrium and harmonize more things that you want into your life. So, okay. So 1 through 10 qualifications. If it's a person, of course, what is it that you're looking for in this person? I was looking for a nanny at the time. So I created my ideal nanny. And and you're going to collaborate with the universe, so this is going to be fun. Excuse me. So 1 through 10, right? Qualifications. Doesn't smoke, is kind, compassionate, has experience with children, so I made my qualifications. And then qualities. Qualities, well, that's a little bit different than qualifications now. Qualities was, actually kindness belonged in the qualities, but qualities is open-minded, spiritual, kind, and humorous, and flexible. And, and the qualifications had their own car. Had backup, So when you make this list, qualities and qualifications, you can then start to hone in for the universe what your intention is. So I made this list and nothing happened. And that's sometimes how it is. And nothing happened. So I went through, trying to work with a 2.5-year-old who never slept, ever, except during certain full moons or eclipses. Or until they turned 5, and then they slept. But what happened was the universe kind of knocked on my head and said, "Are you sure you want a nanny?" And suddenly I had a thought, where do I need more help? I kept thinking it was with my child. And but actually it was in my business. So I wrote an ad in the local newspaper seeking part-time assistant for transformational astrologer. And I actually put, my husband said, "Oh, that's really good." And then at the bottom, I actually put spiritually inclined. My husband said, do you need that? And I was like, I don't know, but I want to put it. So I did. And I got a few phone calls and no one was right for the job. And then I got a phone call from a woman who I really liked talking to. And then we had a meeting, and she was a half Cherokee Buddhist nun. And she came in full robes, and she had worked in the computer industry, and she raised her own son, single mom, and she was so delightful. She had the greatest sense of humor. So she fit my criteria for the nanny. So I needed the nanny. Apparently, I needed the nanny for me. So, and she was with me for 5 years, and then she passed away. And I missed her. Ani, thank you. So Allison's here, Leo's sun. Ooh, moon, Scorpio rising. Okay, Jen is here, another Libra rising. And then Ronnie's here, another Gemini. Gemini. So, do you understand that when you start to make a list of intentions, the universe helps you to fine tune it? You don't always get exactly what you want the moment you want it, because we're having so many temper tantrums on this earth right now. Let's just focus on creating harmony in our space, okay? This is all about equilibrium. The autumnal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, equilibrium, being grateful. So starting a gratitudes list, creating that ideal fill in the blank, client, romantic relationship, business partner, whatever it is. And then we want to share with our friends and family. I think it's creating that for my husband and I, it's creating equal time for work and play. And when we do that, then we're really happy. We're just happier. I mean, we just love what we do. We sit in our offices and we do our work and we love it. And, aside from the transformational, spiritual, clairvoyant, empathic, astrological business that I am, I'm also an historical fiction fantasy author. And so, our lives are full. We love what we do, but we have to always remember that there is an outside. Let's go hiking. Let's go, get our hands in the dirt. So this is the perfect time now. There's a couple of things you can do, and I want you to think about this. As you incorporate harmony into your life with the autumnal equinox, think about clearing the clutter, number one. And that means raking whatever's going on outside in your yard, depending on where you live in the world. Pruning, getting the weeds out and digging them up, and, just settling everything down. Bring the plants in. Some of the plants that we have outside won't make it through the winter. So in a few weeks, I have to start digging them out, potting them, and putting them in the house. So as you start to look at how you can harmonize what's going on in your world, it also means to incorporate foods of the season. Because modern technology has brought us so many wonderful things, it also has altered our inner clock, right? So we go by it's 4 p.m., it's tea time, it's 9 a.m., it's whatever time, it's noon, it's lunchtime. You need to go more by your body clock. So in order to do that, to help you set this equilibrium, look at what's being grown in the autumn months, and according to your health, of course, and your diet, but incorporate more of the seasonal foods. And if there's a fruit that you love and it only is grown in May and June, and you have some in the winter, that's fun. But to have it daily, it does not do your body a service. So you want to think about that too. And also, clearing the clutter, that's number one, definitely. Number two, this is a fun thing, if you can do it. we have a tiny fire pit outside. We don't have a fireplace, but we have a fire pit. So if you can, or you can do it in your safe space somewhere where nothing else will catch fire. And to do a little fire ritual. And on it, on pieces of paper, write down things that have contributed to your off axis. Being doubtful, being negative, write down things separately on a piece of paper that are about your behavior, mistrusting, overly worried, things that really throw you off axis with equilibrium. And then in a safe space or in a fire pit or in a fireplace, you want to create a fire with intention that this fire is going to burn away parts of your vibe, parts of your thought process that no longer apply. And then burn those things, right? And then, do a little jig. And then create for yourself on paper. When you let go of something on paper, you need to now recreate something on paper. So there's equilibrium. If you give 100% of yourself during the day, now you need to let yourself receive 100%, right? So we're creating equilibrium. That's an alignment of body, mind, so that spirit can come through, okay? And so on that piece of paper, you'll write, I am, and fill in the blank. I am supported. I am loved. I am grateful. I am present in as many moments as possible. I resonate the frequency of abundance. Got to take a sip of the universe. Excuse me. Does this make sense? Right? Jess said, you said to make 2 lists for my ideal, one of qualities and a separate list of qualifications. Qualities, 1 through 10. Qualifications, 1 through 10. And be reasonable. I hope that helps. And then you... okay, so first we cover, I just got confused. Clear the clutter outside, in your office, in your closets, in your refrigerator, the back of the drawers in the bathroom. What is that thing? It's like it was congealed. You had it for 7 years. Throw it out. Make space. When you make space, this is a primary principle in energy. Some people call it feng shui. Some people call it the ritual. Just make space. And when you make space, new things can appear, and that can be support. That can be ideas. It can be opportunities. It can be you get an email to join a group. It's like, where'd they get my email from? Okay, well, the universe works in miraculous ways. Does that make sense? Yes? So we're going to clear the clutter. Outside and inside and in here by meditating. Meditate on where your life is off axis. That's number 3. What do you think is out of balance? And take the time to make that a priority. Okay? And this will help. Yes. Thank you, Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Qualities and qualifications. That's what we want to focus on. And, sometimes we as people like to do random things, even though we need structure and familiarity, right? It's like, okay, I got to get up and we do the routine and we do the routine and we do the routine and as our bodies are aging, as our minds are fixed on agendas and seasons. Oh, now it's Christmas. So now it's Easter. Oh, now it's summer. Now it's whatever. We sometimes tend to lose focus of the reason for being. And that is, you are a miracle. You are complex. You are complicated. And you are so simple, all in one little package called you. So remember that as pure conscious love, that's what you are. Pure conscious love. What do you choose to do with that? You came here to make a contribution. You came here to know yourself better. You came here to understand what it's like to be part of the whole. See that behind me? You're part of that. And then express it in your own individual way. So, does that mean getting on stage in front of 25,000 people and winning a Grammy, Emmy, Academy Award? Maybe. Does that mean being so completely present that you know when you're bullshitting yourself, that you know when you're adept at something but yet minimize yourself? Yeah, that's bigger. Because the vibration that you have internally is what you express externally, and it melds into my world. So the happier you are, the better I sleep at night. I'm going to pull a happy card for everybody. And I will be back on Monday. We're going to start talking a little bit more about the elements in astrology. And then I'll see what other planets are doing what these days. And again, remember, the planets only represent who you are. What they represent. You know, I'm going to go over again what the planets are. In astrology. Let's talk about that on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific, Arizona time. All right, so I'm going to pull a happy card and I call in all energies of positive light on and off planet, angelic, terrestrial, extraterrestrial, all beings of light that can help us create equilibrium in our body and mind so spirit can contribute, and in our environment so we can share who we are. We can reap what we have sown. So let's pull a card for that for everyone. Oh, this actually matches my blouse. Synchronicity. I love it. Yay, synchronicity. Oh, I hear police right now. Synchronicity. Ooh, you see it's trippy. In one of the little things we can see stars. You're full of stars too, you know. Synchronicity, what does it mean? It means everything we just talked about. So thank you for that validation. Synchronicity is also paying attention to how you feel in a moment when you go from happy or neutral to sad or angry. What is that one moment in time, that one moment you are out of sync? Because it's not out in the world that's going to make you better or happier or more congruent. It's what's going on in here. Ponder that. Be present as much as you possibly can in as many moments as you possibly can. And I will return on Monday. Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. And happy autumnal equinox, which will actually be on Monday, Sunday and Monday. And we're going to kick it off with some fun planetary definitions and experiences. So come back and then share the word. Oh, by the way, if you are not familiar, you can also go to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to post that right now, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, because every show that I do on Facebook, I post on YouTube after a week. And then if you don't have your chart, you can go and get your complimentary birth chart, fill in all the fields, and that should work, that link. Oh, Jess said I needed to hear all of this. You're welcome. Glad to be of service. And Elizabeth says, thank you, and you're so welcome. Have a beautiful weekend. Be present. Be sparkly. You are.